Hello, good morning students. So welcome back after the Diwali vacations. So let's now begin with the new topic of scholarship. That is a topic, squares and square roots. So what is a square? When a number is multiplied by itself, the product so obtained is called as the square. You are very well acquainted with it. For example, 9 into 9 is 81. So a number multiplied by itself, the product so obtained is called as the square. Okay. So how we write? 9 raised to 2 is equal to 81. So how we read it? 9 square is 81, or 9 raised to 2 is equal to 81, or square of 9 is 81, right? For scholarship, you should compulsory know the squares from 1 to 30. You should. So write down them in your notebook. I hope you will write them down. Now, we are going to study certain concepts related to squares. Okay? Suppose if I have got a negative number, minus 5 into minus 5. What I will get? Square of 5, 25. And minus into minus, of course, plus. So what it means? Square of a negative number is always positive. Square of negative number is always positive. Do you understand? Okay. Now, if in the units place of a number you have digits 2, 3, 7 and 8, then definitely it is not a square. What I said, if in the units place of a number we have 2, 3, 7 and 8, then 100% definitely it is not a perfect square. Okay? Now, and if in the units place of a number I have 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, then it may be a perfect square. We cannot guarantee. Why? Suppose if I say, if 1 is there in the units place, for example, 81, yes, of course it is a perfect square. But if I say 11, it is not a perfect square. So what we say, that if in the units place of a number we have 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9, then it may be a perfect square. Do you get it? We are not 100% sure. One more thing. If in the units place of a number we have got 5, then there has to be 2 in the tens place of a number to make it a perfect square. For example, 625. Do you know whose square it is? Absolutely right, 25. But my dear friends, now suppose if I have got 125. Now units place 5 is there, tens place 2 is there. But is it a perfect square? No, not at all. And so what we can say, even here also we are not 100% sure. Even if in the units place 5 is there and in the tens place 2 is there, it may or may not be a perfect square. But to become a perfect square, always, if in the units place 5 is there, there has to be 2 in the tens place. Do you understand? Okay. Now, next thing. Vulgar fraction. The square of vulgar fraction is equivalent to square of the numerator and square of the denominator. And how to find the square root of it? square root of vulgar fraction is equivalent to square root of the numerator upon square root of the denominator. Okay, now let us move to the next part. A perfect square ending with zeros should have even number of zeros. Then it may be a perfect square. There also we are not sure. Okay, it may be a perfect square. For example, 400. It is a square of, yes of course, 20. 100. It is a square of 10. See the number of zeros. Number of zeros are even number of zeros. Okay, but now you tell me 200. Whose square it is? Oh my God, it's not a complete square. It's not a perfect square. And so, what do we say? If the number ending with even zeros, even number of zeros, then it may be a perfect square. We cannot surely say it is going to be a perfect square. Okay, then odd number of zeros are there, then it is surely not a square. For example, if I say 1000, no, it is not a square. It is not a square. Definitely, there has to be even number of zeros. Okay, then next, decimal numbers. If given decimal number has to be a perfect square, then after the decimal point, there has to be even number of digits. Excluding the zeros at the end, we should not take into account that zeros, because that zeros, they do not have any values. Okay, for example, 6.25. Now I know 625 is a square of 25, right? So it is a square of 25. Now see, after decimal point, how many digits are there? 2, even number of digits. So definitely it is a perfect square. Do you get it? So in the square root of that number, how many digits will be there after decimal point? Half of the digits. How many are here? 2. So half of them, 1. So the answer will be 2.5. Do you understand? Okay. Now suppose if it is like this, 12.25. Okay. Now 12.25 is a square of 35. Okay. Now see, after decimal point, how many digits are there? 2 digits are there. So in the square root, how many digits will be there after decimal point? Half of 2 digits, 1. So there has to be only 1 digit. Do you get it? Okay. So in this way, for decimal points. Okay. Then, to find the square root of a number having 5 in its units place, what to do or how to find? See, for example, suppose I have got 45. So what I will do? Separate the digits. Units place digits, separate it from rest of the digits. So I have separated. Take square of the units place, that is multiply by the same number, that is multiply by 5. Okay, so 5 into 5. So what I get? 25. And here multiply by the next successive digit, higher digit. Okay, so which is that? 5. So what is the answer? 5 4s are 20. So square of 45 is how much? 2025. We can take another example. Example, suppose 105. I want to find square of 105. So what can I do? Separate the units place from rest of the digits. Take the square of units place, that is multiply by the same number, that is multiply by 5. So 5 square 25. Now here multiply by the next successive number. So what is that? 11. 11 tens are 110. So answer is 11,025. So square of 105. What it is? 11025. that is 11,025. I believe you will solve more examples based on this, okay, and you will enjoy it. Now let's move to the next part, that is finding squares of other numbers. What can we do? I'll tell you, okay. So to find square of other numbers, we can use the identities. Which are those? A plus b whole square. What it is? It is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. And the second one is a minus b whole square. That is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Any one of them is sufficient. You decide which you have to use depending upon the given number. For example, if I have got 102. So what I can do, how I can write it? 100 plus 2 whole square. Okay. So 100 is A and 2 is B. Okay. So A square, that is 100 square plus 2 into A, that is into 100, into B, that is 2, plus B square, that is 2 square. Now 100 square is 10,000 plus 2 to the 4, 4 into 100, 400, 2 square is 4. So answer is 10,404. Finished. No need to go for lengthy multiplication method. If you have got command, you will solve them orally. You want to know how? See here. Directly. See what I do. Now I have got the command. So I will take this last digit. 2 square. What is it? 4. B square. 4. Then 2AB. So what is A and what is B? This is B and this is A. So 10 2s are 20. Multiplied by 2. So 20 2s are 40. So 0. 4 carry on. Right? And then square of 10. Square of 10, 100. And this plus 4. 100 plus 4, 104. Check your answer with my answer. Is it correct? Of course it has to be. Okay. So orally you can do it. And for that, this one identity is sufficient. I have not done any tricks. I have not done any magic. It is just the magic of these formulas. If you know them and if you have got the command, you can solve them orally. How? 2 square 4. Separate the units place from the rest of the digits. So 2AB, that is 2 into 10, 20, and multiply by 2. 22s are 40, 4 carry on. And then rest of the digits square. So 10 square, 100. 100 plus 4, 104. Orally, saving of time. Okay. Then another we can use, that is A minus B whole square is equal to A square minus 2AB plus B square. Let us see that. So now I will use this second identity, A minus B whole square. So I am finding out the square of 97. Now 97, how I can do? I have got two options, either 90 plus 7. So at that time I will be using A plus B whole square identity. Or I can have another option, 100 minus 3, right? 100 minus 3 whole square. 100 minus 3 is what? 97, right? So A minus B whole square. So that is what? A square, that is 100 square minus, right, 2 into A, that is 100, into 3, that is B, plus B square, that is 3 square. Now 100 square is 10,000 minus 3 2s are 6, 6 into 100, 600 plus 9. Now 10,000 minus 600, कितना हो गया? Oh yes, of course, 9,400. आप सही है. Plus 9, and so that comes out to be 9,409. Am I right? Yes. Now, can I do it orally? We can. I'll show you. So, and there I am going to use which identity? A plus B whole square. देखिए 7 square 49, right? 4 carry on. अभी क्या करना है? 2ab. So 2ab यानी मतलब क्या? 9 7 जा 63. 63 का डबल कितना हो गया? मीन्स मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2, 126. और 126 प्लस 4 कितना हो गया? 130, राइट? सो 13 कैरी ऑन. अभी 9 का स्क्वायर हमें पता है, यस हमें पता है, क्या है? 81. और 81 प्लस 13 कितना होता है? देखो 3 plus 1 4, 8 plus 1 9, and your answer comes 9409. Am I right? Yes. So you can learn orally and you will get interest in it. Okay, so let's move to the next point. You will solve examples based on this, that what I believe. Okay, square root of number, we use this symbol. You are well acquainted with it. This symbol is used to denote the square root. So square root of 81 is 9. I had told. Square root of 81, 9. Square root of 100, 10, and so on. Okay. To find the square root of the number having 5 units place. How to do? Exactly the opposite process that we did while finding the square. Okay. For example, suppose if I have got 2025. I want to find the square root of it. Now in this case what you should do, separate the units and tens place. That is 25. Always you are going to have 25. Now we know that this is a perfect square. So we have to find square root. So what you do? Separate 25 from the rest of the digits. Now then what you do? Find the square root of 25. What it is? 5. Find square root. Okay, find square root of 25, and this express it as product of two successive number. So 20. क्या होगा? 10 2s are 20. But are they successive? No. 5 4s are 20. Yes, of course. 4 into 5. इसमें से छोटा कौन है? Which is the smallest? 4. So use that. And so your answer is 45. So square root of 2025 is equivalent to 45. If you have got command now, you can directly check that. Square of 5, 25. And next number to 4, 5. 5 4s are 20. So my answer is yes, of course, exactly right. Okay, now let's move to another example. Suppose I have got 11025. I know I have taken it. Now square root of 25, yes, 5. Now 110, how I can express? 10 into 11. 11 tens are 110. So 10 into 11. Which is the smallest? Yes, 10. So what is the answer? 105. So therefore square root of 11025 is equivalent to 105. Okay. So this is one way to find out the square roots of the numbers having 5 in the units place. Keep this in mind. Now let's go for approximation method. Okay, before coming to approximation method, first another method to find out square root is factorization method. If I don't know the square root, I should factorize them. Now as I have said, square is what? Multiplying the same number by itself. Means 2 times we multiplied. So find factors in such a way. Okay, and then you can get it. I'll give one example. For example, suppose I have got 576. Now I don't know. Suppose we believe that we don't know the square of this, square root of this. So what to do? Find out the factors of this. So there, it's not necessary that you should have prime factors only. But the thing is, you should always have them in pairs. Keep this in mind. Okay. So for example, one may start with 4 if he knows the test of divisibilities very well. Or you can start with 2. No matter which factor you are starting with. That's what I said. But the only thing is they should be in pairs. Okay, so I am starting with 4. 4 1 4. 1 carry on. 1 remainder. So 17. 4 4s are 16. One remainder. 4 4s are 16. Again divide with 4 only. Okay. So 4 3s are 12. 2. Right. 4 6s are 24. Right. Now 36. 6 6 are and 6 1 are. Now you can see they are in the pairs of 2. Right. So therefore factors of 576 is equal to 4 into 4 into 6 into 6. Underline the pairs. And then you find out, therefore, square root of 576 is equal to, take one factor from the pair each, whatever the pairs you have got. So 4 from this and 6 from this, and 6 4s are 24. That's what the answer is. So you can use factorization method. Okay. Then approximation method. Let's move to the approximation method. Now before coming to the approximation method, let us see the digit in the units place of square of a number and the digit in the units place of square root of that number. For example, if in the units place of square of a number there is 0, then definitely in the units place of square root of a number there has to be 0, of course. Then if in the units place of square of a number there is 1, then in the units place of square root of a number what it has to be? At either 1 or 9, because 9 9s are 81. If units place of square of a number there is 4, then in the units place of square root of a number what it can be? 2 2s are 4. So either 2 or 8 8s are 64. So 8. Okay. If in the units place of square of a number there is 5, then in the units place of square root of a number it can be 5. If in the units place of square of a number there is 6, then in the units place of square root of a number it has to be 4, because 4 4s are 16, or 6 6 6 are 36. Okay. Then if in the units place of a number, square of a number, there is 9. So in the units place of square root of a number there can be 3 3 3s are 9, or 7 7s are 49. Okay. Now let us come to the approximation method. We want to find the square root of 7569. Now it's too big, and factorization it will take a lot of time. So we can use approximation method. So in that case what you have to do, first use the digits, use the numbers which are having zeros at its end. Find the squares of them. For example, 20 square, 400, very small. 50 square, 2500. But then too this is big. 70 square, 4900. It is very big. 80 square, 6400. It is bigger than that. 90 square, 8100. This number is smaller than that. That means this square, it lies between 80 square and 90 square. So we can say 7569 lies between what? 80 square and 90 square. Find out what is 80 square? 6400. And what is 90 square? 8100. So my number 7569 is in between it. Let us be more specific. Find out square of 85. The middle number of 80 and 90. Okay, so what is 85 square? So 85 square, square of 5, 25. Next number to 8 is 9. 8 9s are 72. So what it is? 7225. Do you get it? Now, see here, this number, 7569. This number is bigger than this. That means now I know that this number, it lies between 85 square, this is my number, and it lies between 90 square. Now my job is, see in the units place, what it is there? 9. When I get 9 in the units place, when in the square root of a number, in the units place of square root of a number, I have got either 3 or 7. तो 3 तो यूनिट्स प्लेस में हो ही नहीं सकता. क्यों? बिकॉज ये 85 और 90 के बीच है. So 86, 87, 88, 89. So who is that? Yes, of course, 87. So 87 square is equivalent to 7569. Verify करना है. Orally, how to do it? 7 square 49. 4 carry on. Right? 7 8 are 56. Multiply by 2. 56 2s are 112. 112 plus 4. 116. 6. 11 carry on. Square of 8. 8 square 64. 64 plus 11. 75. So answer is correct. Therefore, square root of 7569 is equivalent to 87. So you can use this approximation method for solving the examples. I hope you have understood it. Okay, so let's move to the next part. The number obtained by adding 16 to the product of 4 consecutive odd numbers or even numbers is a perfect square. So for example, 4 consecutive even numbers, 4 into 6 into 8 into 10, and add 16 to it, so plus 16. So you will get definitely a perfect square. So see, 6 4s are 24, 10 8s are 80, plus 16. Now 24 8s are how much? Do you know it? 192. Check it. 8 4s are 32, 3 carry on. 8 to the 16 plus 3, 19. Okay, now add this 16 to it. So 6, 2 plus 1, 3. So 1936. So this is a perfect square. So if I want to find the square root of it, what do you do? Take the first number and the last number. And add 4 to it. You will get the answer. 10 4s are 40 plus 4. That is 44. Check it. Orally, 4 4s are 16. 1 carry on. Right? 4 4s are 16 plus 16 2s are 32. 32 plus 1, 33. 3 carry on. Again, 4 square 16. 16 plus 3, 19. So answer is correct. You can check it out for odd numbers. So keep this in mind. When 4 consecutive odd numbers or even numbers, they are multiplied and 16 is added to them, then the number obtained is always a perfect square. And so if I want to find the square root of that number, so that should be equal to first number multiplied by the last number and add 4 to it. You will get that. Do you get it? Now, let's move to the next trick. If I add 1 to the product of 4 consecutive natural numbers, then I get a perfect square number. For example, 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 and add 1 to it. You will get an exact square number. Let us check it. 3 2s are 6. 6 into 20 plus 1. 5 4s are 20. Okay. 20 into 6. 120. And 120 plus 1. 121. Is 121 a perfect square? Yes, of course it is. of whom? 11, right? Now, how to find it? So, square root of 121, product of first number and the last number, and add 1 to it. So, 5 2s are 10 plus 1, so that is 11. So, when 4 natural numbers, consecutive natural numbers are multiplied, and if 1 is added to them, you get a perfect square number. And to find the square root of that number, what do you do? First number multiplied by the last number and add 1 to it. You will get the square root of that number. Okay? Now, let's move to the next part, that is cubes and cuboots. Now, cubes. So what are cubes? When a number is multiplied by itself 3 times, the product we get is called as the cube. For example, 3 into 3 into 3. What I get? 27. So the number product we get is called as the cube. How we write it? 3 raised to 3, that is equal to 27. Or we read it, cube of 3 is 27. Do you get it? If 1 is there in the units place of a number, then in the cube of that number, what will be there? 1 into 1 into 1. So of course 1. Okay. If 2 is there in the units place of a number, so what will be there in the units place of cube of that number? 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. So what it will be? 8. If 3 is there in the units place of a number, so what will be there in the units place of cube of that number? 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. So 7. Right? If 4 is there in the units place of that number, so what will be there in the units place of cube of that number? 4 4s are 16, 16 4s are 64. So 4. If 5 is there in the units place of the number, then what you can have in the units place of cube of that number? 5 5s are 25, 25 5s are, yes, 125. So 5 in the units place. If I have got 6 in the units place of a number, so what can I have in the units place of cube of that number? 6 6 are 36, 36 6 are 216. So again 6, right? And if I have got 7 in the units place of a number, so in the cube of that number, 7 7s are 49, 49 7s are how much? 243, right? So what is in the units place? 3. And if I have got 8 in the units place of a number, so in the cube of that number, units place of cube of that number, I will have 2. Because 8 8s are 64, 64 8s are 512. Okay? So 2. And if I have got 9, so in the cube of that number, units place of cube of that number, I will again have 9. Because 9 9s are 81, 81 9s are 729. So 9. If I have got 10, 0. Okay? So what I will have? 0 itself. 0 in the units place of the number. Do you get it? Then these are the cubes. So these numbers are the cube roots of it. Cube root of 8, 2. Cube root of 8 is 2, definitely. Okay. And cube root of 729, what it can be? 9. Do you get it? Now, so how to write cube roots? The symbol used is this. Okay. And to find the cube roots, if we are supposed to find the cube roots, for example, if I am supposed to find the cube root of very big numbers, now that is not there for you. Of course, we will discuss that in our next period to find the cube roots, because the video is going to be too lengthy then. So we will stop here, and I hope whatever I have taught till now you will understand, you have understood, and try to practice the examples that I have told and get command over it. And in my next video we will discuss the cube root of the number and the exercises. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.